the first one I should mention is a book that actually inspired us to do this work. It's a co-authored book by Thomas Diez, Franziskus Von Lucke, and Zehra Wellmann on the securitization of climate change. The book provides a comparative study as well on climate security debates in the United States, Germany, Mexico, and Turkey. It is a very important study. I think it also highlights how valuable comparative studies are in understanding politics of climate change today. Another piece of scholarly work that is quite influential is the article by Nicholas Smith and Anthony Leiserowitz. They study the effect of discrete emotions on climate policy support and opposition. It's an agenda-setting kind of an article because they are looking at the effects of different emotions on support for climate policies. And they find emotions actually played a significant role in making people support certain climate policies. Another line of work actually that I find quite influential is in climate change communication literature, the work by Marianna Poberezhskaya on media coverage of climate change in Russia and Kazakhstan particularly. Her work is quite thought-provoking, I think, because it reveals how state media relations in particularly authoritarian systems can create some systematic silences and biases in coverage of climate change. And which in turn may influence public opinion on the issue, of course, because people still get their information on climate change from media. Finally, another very influential work, I think, is a very recent article by Joel Turner and Dan Bailey. They actually looked into a shift in European far-right parties' narratives on climate change from climate denialism into a narrative that they call Ecobordering. So they find that increasingly European far-right parties are depicting migrants falsely as the culprits of climate change and as consumers of so-called national resources in Europe. This kind of work is very agenda setting. It's kind of an agenda setting work, I believe, because it shows us it reminds us that it's not only the environmentalists or fossil fuel industry talking about climate change. It's also far-right parties and other actors from different ideological backgrounds communicating climate change to the public, and it's important to see different narratives that are out there.